Okay, so have you looked at ChatGPT lately?
Because, seriously, the internet seems to think it's the only thing we should be learning.
And for today's deep dive,
We're not just dipping our toes in.
we are diving headfirst
Into the deep end.
with this program that claims to offer 50 courses in one.
ChatGPT Unlocked Extreme.
Extreme.
50 courses.
Yeah,
They really aren't holding back, are they?
it's certainly ambitious. Ambitious to say the least.
I mean, most people struggle to even finish a single online course.
Let alone commit to, like, a 50-course marathon.
Right.
So this really begs the question.
Are we actually looking at real depth of knowledge here?
Or is it just the same concepts repackaged and rebranded a ridiculous number of times?
That is what we are here to find out.
Especially since this extreme learning experience, it comes with a pretty hefty price tag.
Okay.
We're talking $75,000.
75,000.
Now we're going into this based purely on their course description.
This isn't like some objective review. We're going in blind here.
Right.
So let's put this program through a series of tests, shall we?
Okay.
See if it really lives up to the hype.
Thirst up.
Who are these gurus promising to unlock our inner ChatGPT masterminds?
Well, the head honcho, the self-proclaimed human AI, is Srinidhi Ranganathan.
Who apparently boasts an IQ of 365
Okay.
and hyperphantasia superpowers.
It does feel a tad over the top, doesn't it?
I mean, congrats on the impressive IQ, obviously.
But does that really translate to a knack for explaining complex concepts
Right.
in a way that actually resonates with learners?
That's the million-dollar question.
And speaking of big names,
We can't overlook the
tantalizing possibility of a guest appearance by the godfather of modern AI himself,
Oh,
Mohan Leela Shankar.
really?
Though the description does use the phrase, if you're lucky. So
Yeah.
it's like a bonus prize at the bottom of the cereal box.
Yeah.
Look, I'm all for learning from the best, obviously.
But this just feels a bit like a marketing tactic.
To just lure people in with these big names,
Mhm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
even if their actual involvement is like minimal,
It's a classic move, isn't there?
dazzle them with the star power and
Right.
hope they don't notice if the substance is actually there.
Yeah.
But we're not easily swayed by shiny objects, are we?
We want to know, is that course content itself actually worth investing our time and money in? So let's move beyond the hype, shall we?
Please.
Let's talk about the meat of the matter here.
The 50 courses themselves,
50 courses.
with a course list that extensive.
You'd expect them to cover every ChatGPT application under the sun, right?
Yeah, you'd think so.
And surprisingly enough, they actually seem to have a pretty diverse range.
Okay.
We've got the usual suspects, of course.
Like content creation, coding, and job searching.
But then it gets interesting. We're talking ChatGPT for everything.
From real estate podcasting,
States.
like us.
To even something called ChatGPT for virtual influencers.
Really?
Now, that's a rabbit hole I'm not sure I'm ready for.
Wow, that's something.
So it's like they're positioning ChatGPT as this.
Cure-all for every industry?
Yeah.
It's no longer just about, like, automating a few blog posts?
Yeah. It's about, like, transforming entire fields.
Right. The potential is there.
Yeah.
But I think we need to inject a healthy dose of reality into
right.
those claims.
It's very learn ChatGPT, become a multimillionaire entrepreneur overnight,
Right.
which, let's be honest,
A bit much.
it is a bit much.
Seeing these niche applications does make me wonder, though.
Who is this program actually geared towards?
That's a good question.
If it's trying to be everything to everyone,
Will it end up just feeling, like, shallow?
that's the crux of it, isn't it?
On one hand,
This buffet-style approach, it might be great for someone who's like, brand new to ChatGPT.
okay.
Let them sample different things, see what clicks.
But for those of us who have maybe dabbled in AI or coding,
Right.
this structure could feel incredibly repetitive.
Totally. Like, for example, if you're already comfortable using ChatGPT for writing,
Yeah.
do you really need a separate course on crafting, like, social media captions with it?
That's a really good point.
It's not that those things are completely unrelated.
But are they different enough to justify a whole course?
Exactly.
Especially within a 50-course program.
Right, exactly.
To me, that just screams redundancy.
It does. It really does.
And that kind of brings up another red flag.
The depth of each course,
Okay.
like a good rule of thumb.
Is that a comprehensive online course should offer at least like 2 hours
Okay.
of content?
Per core concept.
Right.
So given the sheer volume of courses here,
Are we really getting a deep dive into each application?
or are we just getting like a quick dip with a few pre-made prompts?
Okay, so.
Let's shift gears for a moment.
Okay. And talk logistics.
The program boasts this blend of pre-recorded videos,
Okay.
which they call VODs,
Interspersed with 5 live sessions.
5 live sessions.
Honestly, I'm torn on this.
Okay.
On one hand, I love having pre-recorded content.
Learn at your own pace.
Sure.
But you miss out on that interactive aspect of asking questions in real time. What are your thoughts on this?
It really hinges on the material itself.
Like, for the foundational ChatGPT concepts, I think.
Pre-recorded videos can be perfectly effective.
Yep.
You're learning the nuts and bolts.
However, when it comes to actually applying those concepts,
Right.
especially in these niche fields.
Live interaction, I think, becomes, invaluable.
Okay.
Being able to ask questions, troubleshoot specific challenges.
That's where the real learning happens, in my opinion. And speaking of which,
There's a noticeable lack of information on, assignments or projects.
it's interesting.
They mentioned a certification,
Which, by the way, is locked behind that 75,000 pay-for-sip paywall.
of course.
But there's no mention of how you actually earn it.
Oh, really?
What are the evaluation criteria?
Are we signing up for, a really rigorous learning experience?
Or is this a watch the videos, get a pat on the back situation?
Right.
I'd want to see more transparency about their...
Teaching methodology?
Okay.
Do they incorporate case studies?
Opportunities for real-world projects.
I think those elements are super critical
Yeah.
for a program claiming to be extreme.
Otherwise, it just becomes a passive consumption exercise,
Right.
not active learning.
Another thing that stands out to me.
Is there emphasis on no coding experience needed?
Okay.
Which, on the surface,
Yeah.
ChatGPT is all about making AI accessible,
Right.
but I can't help but wonder,
If this, come one, come all approach,
limits the program's effectiveness,
I
would someone with prior AI or coding experience?
find this program, challenging enough
That's the inherent tension,
Right.
isn't it?
by catering to the masses.
You risk alienating those seeking more specialized or advanced knowledge.
Right.
It's like offering a cooking class.
That promises to teach you how to boil water and bake a souffle.
Okay.
Everyone's welcome.
But the seasoned cooks are going to be bored out of their minds for the first half.
Right. And to be fair, it's not like they're trying to hide that, right?
Not at all. The title itself is very upfront. 50 courses in one.
Right.
It's like they want to emphasize that you're getting, a little taste of everything.
It's like a ChatGPT sampler platter.
Exactly. And, for the right person, that might be exactly what they need.
Yeah.
Someone who's curious about ChatGPT, but not ready to commit to a deep dive just yet,
Right. So it's more about figuring out what you want to specialize in later.
Yeah, find your ChatGPT niche.
Okay. So to bring this back to you, dear listener, think about your own goals.
Are you hoping to, become a prompt writing maestro in, say, marketing or something?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you more just interested in getting that general overview of all the different things ChatGPT can do?
Because honestly, if you're already using ChatGPT for, let's say, marketing copywriting, and that's your main thing, a cluster of courses on crafting social media posts or website content, it might be worthwhile.
Yeah.
But only if they're offering genuinely new techniques or strategies.
Right, not just the basics rehashed.
Exactly.
And that's a big but, because we still haven't seen concrete evidence of how in-depth or rigorous those courses actually are.
With that 75,000 full price tag, you're right to be discerning. Definitely.
Especially when there are so many other ChatGPT resources available out there, right? Free tutorials, blog posts that go in depth, even really comprehensive courses that just focus on one very specific thing with ChatGPT, like advanced prompt engineering.
Yeah, and that level of specialization.
Yeah.
This program, this 50 courses in one, it's not going to touch that, realistically.
No, because it's trying to be everything to everyone. Which brings us back to that initial skepticism, right? 50 courses sounds impressive at first glance.
It is.
But when you actually start to poke at it, you have to wonder, is it truly possible to cover that much ground without sacrificing depth?
It's the age-old question, isn't it? Quality versus quantity?
Right.
And that's something you as a savvy learner have to be aware of with any learning program, not just this one.
Yeah.
Don't be swayed just by big promises or catchy titles,
Look for that evidence. A well-structured curriculum, experienced instructors,
Oh, absolutely.
and most importantly, a focus on active learning and practical application, not just passively consuming information.
Couldn't agree more.
So, as we wrap up this ChatGPT deep dive, we've got one final thought for you. Instead of asking yourself, should I take this 50-course ChatGPT program? Ask yourself this. What does my ideal ChatGPT learning journey look like?
What are your goals? What specific skills do you want to walk away with?
What gaps in your knowledge do you need to fill?
And what kind of learning environment will actually get you there? Self-paced,
Yeah.
interactive, project-based maybe.
Once you have a clear picture of what you want, you'll be in a much better position to evaluate any program out there.
And decide, is this the right fit for me?
And that's what matters. Finding the resources that actually empower you to learn, grow, and, hey, maybe even master these incredible AI tools we have at our fingertips.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And on that note, that's a wrap on today's deep dive. Until next time, everyone, happy learning.